Yeah, I'm still convinced that there's only 3 good teams in the NFL. Grassy Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, a podcast where you don't have to Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. All right, maybe like 4. Grassy, and today we are going to be ranking the top 10 teams heading into week 9 of the NFL season. We're about to hit the halfway mark, and yet there is still chaos. There is still suffering if you're a Green Bay Packers fan or, a Buccaneers fan or a Rams fan or basically anyone in the NFC, not the Vikings or in the NFC East. But we're going to get through it anyway. Things are getting a little bit more challenging near the bottom of the rankings here, in which I will already give them an honorable mention. The San Francisco 49ers, you're not in the top 10, but you would be my number 11 right now. The Bengals, you were going to be on this list, but then, Monday Night Football happened, so no hard feelings. Plus, even if I came to attack you, it's not like your offensive line would have blocked it. So let's start off with number 10, and we are going to stick with the AFC North and go with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens didn't have to worry about anything on Sunday because they played this past Thursday, defeating Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, the biggest news coming out of the Ravens camp is the fact that they traded for Roquan Smith, the linebacker from the Chicago Bears. Now, there's a lot of things about this that are up in the air. Roquan Smith is in a contract year, has been playing pretty good this year. It was obvious that the Bears did not want to pay him because he wants an insane amount of money per year. However, the Ravens have a little bit of a bigger problem. Their quarterback, Lamar Jackson, he's also in a contract year. They're going to need to figure out if they're going to pay him this year. So, yes, there's going to be some messy things to figure out during the offseason, but for right now, I love this signing for the Ravens. The AFC North is wide open. The Steelers are the Steelers. The Bengals can't be consistent. And the Browns, while they're playing pretty good football, it also is not consistent, and Jacoby Brissett is still the QB for at least a couple more weeks. So the Ravens, I think right now are still going to be favored to win the AFC North. It's just going to be a matter of can they put a full game together on defense and offense. We'll see this next week. But right now, the signings that they made, the trade they make right now with Roquan Smith and guys returning on defense from injury, the Ravens make my top 10. Number 9, you got the Tennessee Titans. The Titans, well, it wasn't that impressive, and Malik Willis literally just completed 6 passes, and he just handed the ball off. But that was enough to win the game because Derrick Henry, good God, over 200 yards, and he has just become the boogeyman for the Houston Texans, absolutely demolishing them. The Titans are probably going to run away with this division. They have won now 5 straight games, which is going very much under the radar. Their defense has been playing well. And listen, they're going to make the playoffs just because the rest of their division is poo-poo caca. So the Titans, congratulations. You move up a spot from last week. You move one step closer to probably just losing in the playoffs. Number 8, you got the New York Giants. Yes, you're still New York for now. I'm not going to send you to the pits of New Jersey, even though that's where you play just yet. The Giants going up against the Seattle Seahawks had a rough week. The Giants just could not run the ball against that defensive front of the Seahawks. Daniel Jones didn't have the best game, and they really just couldn't get anything going on offense. In addition, you had 2 blunders on special teams in which Richie James fumbled the ball twice, which most definitely didn't help. And the Giants, who have been winning these close games all season, finally bested by the Seattle Seahawks. I'm only going to drop them a little bit because they played a good team, which still sounds weird in 2022, in the Seattle Seahawks. And the Giants don't have the hardest of schedules to go. So right now, the Giants remain in the top 10, though we'll see how they do against teams like the Eagles and Cowboys going forward. Number 7, you got the Miami Dolphins getting back into the top 10. Wasn't the prettiest of games in terms of officiating, in which there was 9,365 flags, But the Dolphins getting the W against a Lions team, which was very feisty in the first half. The Dolphins shut out the Lions in the second half. Their defense coming up clutch. And Tua having probably his best game of the season. They were just clicking. The Dolphins also just added Bradley Chubb from the Denver Broncos in exchange for a first-round pick. In addition, they traded away Chase Edmonds and a fourth-round pick. This allows Bradley Chubb to get a brand new deal and also gives the Dolphins a great pass rusher. He's been putting up good production this past season, so if he can stay on the field, they have a really nice piece on their defense now to pair with the other side of the ball. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle is the duo of the NFL in terms of receivers right now. Their offense is going to be difficult to stop as long as they can continue to remain healthy. There's just too much speed on that side of the ball. And so right now, the Dolphins are definitely a top 10 team. And watch out, because if they keep on rising in the AFC East, maybe they'll give the Bills a run for their money.
Son of a bitch, I'm sick of these Dolphins.
And much to the chagrin of my beloved editor, the Dolphins also traded for Jeff Wilson from the San Francisco 49ers, probably to replace Chase Edmonds, who they just gave away to the Denver Broncos.
I'm tired, boss.
Number 6, this is so weird. You got the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks defeating the New York Giants at home. Geno Smith just continuing to put together a campaign that I don't think anybody expected. So many people expected the Seahawks to be terrible, but they are putting it together. They couldn't really lean on the run game with Kenneth Walker this week because the Giants did a good job at stopping the run, but Geno Smith in the pass game still able to get it done, and that's even with a Tyler Lockett fumble, also a dropped touchdown. The Seahawks could have blown this game open even earlier. They're efficient on offense. They don't make many mistakes. Their defense has been really good, and their run defense, which is a little bit lacking, really stopped Saquon Barkley. And so the Seahawks, they're favored to win the NFC West. Their only real competition there is the San Francisco 49ers. But the Seahawks are the wonder story of this year, and that book is still open.
My favorite book.
Number 5, you got the Dallas Cowboys. There's that offense. The Cowboys finally having the offensive game that they were wishing for. Dak coming back last week against the Lions didn't really have it. They really relied on their run game and, of course, their defense. And here against the Bears, while they did allow a lot of points, they really let it open on offense, mainly behind Tony Pollard, who had himself an amazing game. Dak playing pretty darn well, and we talked about this. While Cooper Rush was definitely serviceable, Dak is going to be able to take that offense to the next level, and he showed that he could do that on Sunday.
Hang on, Dak.
The Cowboys are obviously behind the Eagles in the NFC East, but they have a great shot of making the playoffs as long as they continue to play well, though I don't think they're going to win the division because the Eagles are just that darn good right now. The Cowboys, they're in a good spot. Number 4, you got the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, I don't think they've won pretty all year except week 1 against the Packers. And no, that does not feel good. But they are thanking their lucky stars that they got Za'Darius Smith. Absolutely demolishing Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Talking about Za'Darius Smith, because the Cardinals were able to stick around for quite some time. Thought they might lead a comeback at the end, but no, they did not. The Vikings are way ahead in the NFC North, and they just picked up TJ Hawkinson from the Lions in a rare divisional trade, proving that the collusion between the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings is as strong as ever. First it was Jameson Williams, and now it's this.
There was absolutely no collusion. Everybody knows it.
But yeah, the Vikings are probably going to win the division by the end of November, which again makes me want to vomit a lot. But it doesn't matter how they're winning. The point is they're getting the W's, and that's all that matters. So they're at number 4. Number 3, you got the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs obviously winning the trade between the New York Giants and themselves, because now the Giants are 0-1 without Kadarius Toney. But the Chiefs had themselves a bye week, still able to get the same amount of points as the Vegas Raiders this past week. And the Chiefs are still a really damn good football team. It's between them and the Eagles, who are the number 2 team. I put the Chiefs last week at number 2, and now I'm putting the Eagles at number 2. And it purely is just because of recency bias. But the Chiefs, yeah, they're freaking amazing. They're the second best team in the AFC, and I don't see anything slowing them down anytime soon. Number 2, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles absolutely demolishing the Pittsburgh Steelers, not only sacking Kenny Pickett, but on top of that, A.J. Brown. Yeah, there's a reason why the NFL is drug testing you. 3 touchdowns in the first half. Only had 6 receptions, and half of them went for touchdowns. Jalen Hurts.
Get freaky.
Freaky good. Jalen Hurts tearing it up. The defense is good. And the Eagles are just a damn good football team right now. They're head and shoulders above the rest in the NFC, and they are the clear number 1 seed. I know we're only halfway through the season, but the Eagles just look like Super Bowl favorites coming from that conference. And right now, I only have one team above them. And that team at number 1 is the Buffalo Bills. The Bills didn't even play their best game of the season. They played a really good first half in which they scored a bunch of points, but limited to just 3 against the Packers in the second half. Josh Allen with some weird interceptions, threw 2 of them. They didn't commit to just running the ball, which they were doing successfully, but that's the only negatives you have. The positives, they're able to put up so many points in so little plays. Their offense moves so fast. Josh Allen just is on a different planet right now. Stephon Diggs is amazing. And as I said before, they are running the ball well. The defense was able to get after Aaron Rodgers, able to hold the majority of the Packers receivers in check. And the Bills are just, I think, the most balanced team in football right now. They are going to have some tougher competition down the road, but the Bills are able to hold on. I think they're the best team in the AFC, and I think they're the best team in football. And so because of that, they remain at number 1. So to recap, at number 1, we got the Bills, 2 the Eagles, 3 the Chiefs, 4 the Vikings, 5 the Cowboys, 6 Seahawks, 7 Dolphins, 8 Giants, 9 Titans, and 10 Ravens. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who do you think should be in the top 10? Who out of this list should potentially be off the top 10? Let me know. You guys find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or TomGrossiComedy, all social media, see down below. Check out Patcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.